The world awoke to sirens on February 10, 2026. Chinese fighter jets swarmed near Taiwan. Naval warships surged through the Taiwan Strait. Markets crashed. Oil soared. Leaders scrambled. The world watched, horrified and transfixed. Suddenly, the Philippines was at the center of the crisis. The stage was set. The world's eyes turned south. China's actions were driven by a core mission: reunification with Taiwan. The Communist Party sees Taiwan as unfinished business from the Civil War of 1949. President Xi Jinping declared the issue could not be passed to the next generation. The goal: bring Taiwan under Beijing's control, by force if necessary. The military maneuvers were psychological warfare, meant to intimidate, isolate, and exhaust Taiwan. Beijing wanted the Taiwanese to feel hopeless, to believe resistance was futile. The PLA spent decades building a force to invade Taiwan: missiles, ships, and amphibious troops. Their navy, now the world's largest, could blockade the island. Amphibious forces trained relentlessly to cross the strait. The timing was calculated. Beijing saw Western divisions and US distraction. China's leaders believed they had a window of military superiority. They gambled on a swift, decisive victory before the world could react. This was not a spontaneous crisis. It was a monumental, calculated risk. The world now faced the consequences of China's long-held ambition. The stakes had never been higher. Taiwan did not panic. The threat of invasion was nothing new. The military went to its highest alert. Reservists mobilized. Life in Taipei continued with calm resolve, but tension was everywhere. Air raid sirens blared. Citizens checked bomb shelter locations. Taiwan's porcupine strategy aimed to make invasion costly. Anti-ship and anti-air missiles hidden and mobile. The goal: turned the strait into a death trap for any invader. Taiwan's smaller military was highly motivated, fighting for democracy and home. The president addressed the nation, vowing to defend sovereignty and freedom. The world saw a democracy on the front line against authoritarianism. But Taiwan was outnumbered and outgunned. They looked to the international community, especially the US, for support. Strategic ambiguity was no longer enough. Taiwan needed real assurances. As the Chinese fleet tightened its grip, the world wondered, would help arrive? And if so, how? The answer lay just to the south, in the Philippines. The fate of Taiwan and the region now depended on alliances and geography. Taiwan's defiance inspired, but the challenge was immense. The next move would come from Manila. The world watched, waiting for the Philippines' response. The balance of power was shifting. As the crisis deepened, the Philippines' location became critical. Its northern islands are less than 150 miles from Taiwan, an unsinkable aircraft carrier. Suddenly, the Philippines was at the center of US and Chinese military planning. A recent revival of the US-Philippine alliance changed everything. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, gave US forces access to key northern bases. These bases, once overlooked, became active staging grounds. Runways, fuel depots, and US troops on rotation. Years of quiet cooperation paid off. Joint exercises grew larger and more complex. The US re-established a military footprint in the region. For Manila, this was a strategic shift, aligning with the US for survival. A war over Taiwan would devastate the Philippines, from refugees to economic collapse. By strengthening its alliance, the Philippines was betting on its own security. No longer a bystander, it became a critical participant. The archipelago's choices now shaped the region's fate. The Philippines' bold move transformed the balance of power. Its bases became the front line in the struggle over Taiwan. The world's eyes turned to Manila. Geography is destiny. Between Taiwan and Luzon lies the Luzon Strait, a vital gateway. For China, it's the main route to surround Taiwan and block US intervention. Controlling the strait is essential for any invasion. US access to Philippine bases changes the equation. From Northern Luzon, US and Filipino forces can control the strait, deploying anti-ship missiles, flying jets, and hunting submarines. The Luzon Strait becomes a deadly choke point for China's navy. Without control of the strait, China's invasion plans become far riskier. Their navy could be bottled up, their blockade leaky. US forces on Philippine soil act as a tripwire. Any attack could trigger the Mutual Defense Treaty. A conflict over Taiwan could instantly draw in the Philippines, and the US-American boots in Luzon complicate every Chinese plan. The risks for Beijing multiply. The Philippines' geography is now a game changer. The Philippines' alliance with the US was forged in the South China Sea's turbulent waters. Years of Chinese harassment, water cannons, lasers, and blockades pushed Manila to rethink its strategy. Hopes for economic gains from Beijing faded as aggression at sea intensified. The Filipino people realized appeasement didn't work. A new consensus emerged. Stand up for sovereignty. The Mutual Defense Treaty with the US became essential. Washington reassured Manila. The treaty covered attacks in the South China Sea. This paved the way for expanded US access and a renewed alliance. Manila's willingness to host US forces was a direct response to China's overreach. Beijing's aggression pushed the Philippines closer to America. The result, a more determined, strategically positioned ally. China's actions created the very obstacle it hoped to avoid. The US-Philippines alliance is part of a growing Indo-Pacific security network. Nations once hesitant now form new bonds, united by concern over China's assertiveness. The Philippines is a key node in this web of partnerships. Japan, another US ally, has deepened defense ties. Joint training. Japan, another US ally, has deepened defense ties. Patrol vessels. Japan, another US ally, has deepened defense ties. Radar support. In a Taiwan crisis, Japanese and Filipino forces could coordinate in the Luzon Strait. Australia, through AUKUS, is acquiring nuclear submarines. Australia, through AUKUS, is expanding joint exercises with the Philippines. Trilateral drills with the US send a powerful signal to Beijing. Any aggression will meet a coordinated, multi-nation response. These alliances complicate China's planning, raising the cost of war. Intelligence sharing and joint operations strengthen deterrence. The Philippines' active participation magnifies its strategic importance. The region's defense posture is more robust than ever. The message to Beijing: you won't face just one opponent. Geography, alliances, and new bases have changed the strategic landscape. For China, a quick victory over Taiwan is now far less certain. The Philippines is a southern obstacle Beijing cannot ignore. US air and missile power from Philippine bases forces China to divert resources. This new reality is powerful deterrence, raising the risks for any invasion. An attack on US forces in the Philippines would guarantee a full-scale American response. Ignoring the bases would let the US strike China's invasion fleet from sanctuary. China faces unacceptable risks either way. The Philippines' role is not to match China's might, but to provide a strategic platform. It creates dilemmas for Beijing that didn't exist before. By opening its territory to allies, the Philippines has become a key factor in deterring war. Peace in the region now depends on Manila's choices. The balance of power has shifted. The Philippines' transformation isn't just about geography or alliances, it's about its military. Once focused on internal threats, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, is modernizing fast. New frigates, patrol vessels, and fighter jets are entering service. Surveillance radars, transport aircraft, and attack helicopters boost capabilities. The AFP is shifting from jungle warfare to maritime defense. Joint exercises with the US, Japan, and Australia build skills and interoperability. Filipino pilots and sailors now train with top allies. A more capable AFP is a more valuable partner. In a Taiwan conflict, the AFP could patrol waters, free up US assets, and provide vital intelligence. Coastal defenses could deny key sea lanes to China. The AFP can now actively contribute to collective defense. The Philippines is no longer just a strategic location, it's a strategic partner. The world is taking notice of Manila's new military confidence. The region's future may depend on it.